G'day guys, I'm Dan Steers and I'm one half of Double Dan Horsemanship. I've got two out-of-work Liberty horses here with me, which is going to be a good little practice to show you guys on film a bit of a, warm-up session for them. They actually are coming into a bit of a show season as we're coming out of winter. These two are a little bit more, advanced than some of the other horses that I'm going to show you through this, video series that's produced by Pryde. As well as these more advanced horses and looking at preparation for shows. So when we work, a couple of horses, there's a few things that we've got to look at. One of them is being that they're a team of horses, so there's two of them, and it wouldn't matter if I had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or so on, that they still have to sort of think individually. So they're tracking around at the moment, shoulder to shoulder. The outside horse, her name's Tiger Lily, and the inside horse is 007. They're actually full brother and sister, but yet they're sort of a bit different in temperament and trainability. 007's got his own sort of character. He likes playing, within the rules and flirting with them a fair bit and getting himself into some sort of trouble from time to time, where Tiger Lily's, I refer to her as the high achiever. She's always trying her hardest, never likes to be in any trouble, and she's now on the inside. So the outside horse has to rake the inside, and that was an impromptu bow, thought about a lay down. Come in here, Tiger Lily, thank you. So we just got to get them started again, and this, video series, we can show you a little bit about that training, what we'll do. Sometimes the horses do things uncued, like she sort of thought about doing there, dropping down into a lay down. Being that they're at liberty, and if you're not sure what that phrase means, I'll just bring them in and stop them here. Being that they're at liberty means they're free to make those decisions. But if we were to get the horses worried about it, let's say they did lay down or they stopped and they got miscued and it wasn't something that we were controlling, I don't want to get the horses frightened of thinking. So if I was to punish her for it, then she'd get a bit nervous next time that I'd, represent the lay down to her. So I've just got to use a bit of distraction, see if I can, talk her out of doing it, and then bring her back in. But if she would have made the mistake and laid down, I would have just gone and got her back up and then represented what it is I'd like them to do. Now that I've brought them in, I've just warmed them up going around together as pairs. We're just going to separate them and like I mentioned before, start to work them individually. And they've got their winter coats coming out, so they're a little bit itchy. We'll bring them over. 007, you come in here. All right, now Tiger Lily, we're going to send her around. So I've cued 007 to stay in here. And then you can see Tiger Lily working around. So I'll just bring her in a little bit tighter to 007. So we're in a pretty small yard to show you guys, a training session here at home. But it's not the fences that I want them thinking about or confined to. So as you can see here, she's traveling a really small circle. She's not focused on going around the fence. She's focused going around 007. When I want to bring her in, I'm going to just step underneath 007 here, and that's going to be her signal to come in and stand parallel to him. Now we're going to do this in reverse, and we're going to send 007 out to the outside. There, whoop, standing on my whip. Bit of a malfunction, we'll send him out, take 2. Here he goes around. 007. There's that impromptu lay down, and we're going to do that times 2. I might be a little opportunist here. Hang on, kiddo. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Get my spur hooked. Come here. Come on. Okay. Now, let's... Really, Tiger Lily? Come in here, please. I did say that they were a bit fresh and out of work. Now we're going to bring you back in and represent it. So 007. Now, you know you're getting in trouble from your bigger brother. So we'll send him out. Thank you. Okay, maybe we'll do take 3. Here we go. So as 007 travels around, Tiger Lily stays in. And that was a good demonstration of when, the wheels come off a little bit, it didn't all go to plan. Had 2 of them laying down at one point and and not sort of doing exactly what I'd asked. It's nothing to panic about as long as I go back and make sure I get what it is that I'm looking for out of the two horses. So now we're back on track. I want 007 to come in. So I'm going to step underneath Tiger Lily, and that's going to bring him in next to him. So there's another little part that we can do to, I guess, show that we can isolate the two horses, is to send them opposite directions. So we bring them in, I'll step in between them, and we'll send them opposite directions. So this is probably one of the more, I guess, difficult maneuvers working the Liberty horse as they're going past each other. You'll notice that I have my whips crossed. That's signaling to the horses to keep going around. Now, as I want them to come in, all I'll need to do is just walk away from them, lower those whips, and the two horses will come back in and find the middle. If we want to go now and look at another opportunity to work them individually, we might ask 007 here to lay down when you're ready. Oh, and then we'll ask Tiger Lily to go around. And then I can take a little bit of a moment here just to take a seat and have her circling around. And again, you'll notice that small circle inside bend, traveling around, not focusing on the horses. If I wanted to come in, I'll just lower my whip, and then she'll come in and find me here on with 007. Good girl. Good kiddo. Now there's a couple other signals that we give the horses. If you want to hop up. Keep coming all the way. And one of those is a stop cue. Ooh. So the stop cue is when I can actually stop the horses out on the circle. Stopping them as, don't be cheeky, mister. I told you this guy's a little bit cheeky. So, now I need you to go back in here together. The stop cue can be a little bit harder for them to see when they're the outside horse. So I'm going to lift my whip up and see if we can stop the horses out there. So 007 stopped a fraction late because he can't actually see the whip get raised because the inside horse is blocking it. But if these guys get tuned up, and we'll give him a couple of practices at it, that he shouldn't be worrying so much about the whip cue, he should be then following Tiger Lily's cue. So if he's watching Tiger Lily in the inside, he should notice that she stops. So I'll try to get her just to catch up a little bit there, and I'll represent and say, woo. And now they stopped even. So kept their position. We can have a little muck around and bring them in together. Separate them like we just did before and test out that stop cue. Whoa. Whoa. So Tiger Lily missed the stop cue. 007 was pretty sharp to it. So we'll set that back up again. Need to just get them on the right side here. There are all sorts of acrobats this morning. Here we go. So I'll get them just opposite each other. Whoa. And there she was a lot sharper. From there, which you've already seen their acrobat skills, we can start to signal them to rear up. Oh, buddy, getting a little bit close. Oh. Good. Tiger Lily's taking a little bit of a siesta here, so we'll get her up. Man down, so to speak. All right, now we go. Very exuberant. So that's the rear signal. We'll see, they've only just worked on this a couple of times together. We'll see if we can bring them in here and rear them up together. So trying to get that timing, there we go, where they're both up at the same time. can be a little bit harder to work on, because if one's up and one's down and you're taking photos or like for, you know, promotion or a show, it can be a little bit tough to get that timing where both the horses are rearing up at the same time. So the last part that we're going to finish up with these two is now just working on some change of direction, slowing things down. They have been a little bit fresh throughout the video, as like I mentioned at the beginning, they are out of work, but they do need to come back in and get ready for a few shows. One part about it I do enjoy, you know, when the horses do play up a little bit, as long as I think they're inside those rules, is it does get to highlight how much the horses do actually enjoy it. So you can see they've got a little bit of spunk and personality about them, and that's what I like demonstrating when I have two full siblings, because you will see the difference in the horses' personalities. When I, you know, perform with them, I want that to come out. I've seen a lot of Liberty shows ourselves, both Dan and I, and sometimes when the horses are just, you know, almost robotic, a little bit mundane, it's just not as entertaining when you see them turn loose at Liberty. You do want to see a horse be as natural as possible, but at the same time, in the same breath, we also want to make sure that we've got some control on them. So when I finish up with them, I won't be looking at the fact that they are working together as a unit again, as pairs, change of direction together. All right. When they change direction, they should stay on the same side of each other. So the inside horse, when he changes, will become the outside horse. Sometimes 007 will be a bit cheeky and change to the inside, because he knows the inside horse has the least amount of distance to travel. So I'll come in, I'm going to change, and this is what we refer to as a reverse switch. So I'm actually changing away from the horses, and it brings them in like a figure eight. So they're behind me, and then as I start walking, they'll start coming in. As I turn away from them here, they'll change direction. So we get a little bit loose here again, Mr. 007. He had a bit of a backfire. Come in here. That's a new trick, Tiger Lily. That's the boy. You can come in. Good girl. I think I'd need a bigger yard for you to get too close to me. All right, so obviously we still got a little bit of fresh left in them. So I'll just work them a little longer on that circle, change back in. So this time we've gone and done a regular switch, so I was facing the horses. Here, change. I've just got to move through the horses. That's better. And then we'll bring them in here, or we might just finish with a dual lay down. And that's about the safest spot I think I can be in right now.